some young broke dude.
My employees are all so infatuated with me that they keep offering me sexual favors. I'm flattered by the intention, but I'm worried that it is distracting them from their other duties. Any thoughts? I suppose all the poor things must find a successful, handsome, intelligent, and humble man like myself to be entirely irresistible. True, employee contracts at my company all contain a stipulation that whichever one has sex with me least in a given 90-day period will be summarily terminated. Of course, this is purely a formality. I fire dozens of employees every 3 months anyway, and I know that they all really want to pursue sex with me regardless of their contracts. Still, I don't want to remove that clause, as I'm worried that this would reduce the competitive atmosphere that keeps them performing optimally. It really is a dilemma. Any ideas?
So I literally died tonight. During surgery, doctors had to knock me out twice, and I flatlined for a while. Thank the universe my wife was in the room at the time. At 2:21 p.m. I died, and she pushed the doctors out of the way and literally slapped me back to life. Got a cracked tooth, but that's a small price to pay for life. The doctors gave me an overdose of fentanyl and didn't know what to do. I heard the doctors panicking, and because of her quick actions, I'm alive and able to make this post. I love you, babe. You saved my life.
I mentioned being excited the day American Idiot came out to somebody at work a few weeks back, and they just said, "You must be ancient. That came out way before I was born." They were born in 2009. I'm only 22.
Why do they want me more now? I'm a 17-year-old currently in high school, and ever since going MGTOW, I've shown off my masculinity, and people are starting to notice, especially the females. After they tell me what to do and what to do for them, I tell them, "No, I'm not a simp, do it yourself." They start looking at me differently with respect and want to do stuff for me. Why? I tell them to fuck off without the fuck, and they treat me like a runaway bad boy who needs to be in a relationship, and they're trying to woo me. Aren't they supposed to leave me alone? What's going on? I need answers.
This girl in the class said he just played basketball. I don't see what the big deal is. And I said, "Bitch, shut up. A whole generation is inspired by his work ethic and what he did with his life." Homegirl started to huff and puff. Professor gave me a canard and kept teaching. Mamba. I'm a kid. You can lecture me if I still do it when I'm 26. 7-year-old after I grumbled at suddenly being handed his half-eaten hot dog.
When I was 7-ish, my parents decided to get me a bunk bed for Christmas. They also decided it would be a good idea to take me out of my old bed in the middle of the night, set up my new bed, and then put me in the top bunk of the new bed without waking me up. Long story short, I woke up Christmas morning, smacked my head, nearly fell off the side even though there was a rail, and ended up clinging to the rail like a demented, mostly upside down monkey until my worldview reset. I thought I was gonna die. No, I do not know how my parents pulled this off without waking me up. No, I do not know why they thought this was a good idea. My toaster got on fire yesterday, and when I realized it, there was a flame like 2 feet high, almost touching my cabinets, so I panicked and picked it up so it wouldn't catch my cabinets on fire. But then I was just standing in my kitchen holding a flaming toaster. My dad saw me and didn't say anything, and I didn't know what to do, so I ran outside with it and threw it at the ground, but it was on fire, so I picked it up and threw it again and again until it went out. But then my grass was on fire, so I beat it with a shovel until that went out too. Then I came back inside. My dad was just like, "What you cooking, Barb?"
My whole entire school broke out into song at lunch with this song yesterday. My principal brought out the mic.
I'm sure.
I really impressed my statistics professor today. I gave him my answer to a question, and I guess it was a good answer because he paused for a minute, totally shocked, and then said, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna go back to my office. Can you take it from here? Starting off the semester right." My trainer looks like Frozone but white, and yesterday, while looking for a file to show us, he yelled out, "Honey, where is my super suit?" I giggle snorted so loud that the class laughed.
I just yelled at my teacher by accident because he said, "Who's Lil Nas X?" And I yelled saying, "He's trash and he stole from Lil Tracy, and that's all you have to know."
My granddaughter Reagan is only 6 years old. Her mom shared this with me this morning. She said Reagan sat up in bed and said, "Love can save the world. There's an army that is trying to destroy the world by destroying all love. But love can make a force field around us. Love can stop a storm. Love is the most powerful thing of all." Brienne asked her, "What army?" Reagan answered very matter of fact, "The devil and his demons." This confirms what God is doing in this hour. He is pouring out his spirit on all flesh and opening the eyes of all people to his truth. From teacher, ask Walt about a connection he made. 9-year-old, I said a millennium was probably 1,000 years because mil equals 1,000 in Spanish. Me, cool. 9-year-old, but I asked why it wasn't a kilo since metric is standard. Me, oh. 9-year-old, I guessed it would remind too many people of cocaine.
A few weeks ago, there was this girl at the bar whose fake eyelash fell off. I don't know what she was thinking, but she pulled her skirt up to show she wasn't wearing any panties, and she stuck that fake eyelash right where pubic hair would be if she had any. She was pretty cool.
Violet, are we going to go to church on Good Friday and talk about Jesus' death? Me, yeah, probably. Violet, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to hear the hammer. Me, what hammer? Violet, it goes boom, boom, boom. Me, there's never been a hammer at any church service we have been to. Violet, like it goes bang, bang, bang. I hear it every year, like it's banging on the cross. Me, hashtag thoroughly spooked.
My bro was in debt for drugs, but my dad cleared the debt by walking into the gang's HQ and telling them if they don't leave his kid alone, he'll kill all of them. Probably something you don't want to hear from a former Special Forces member whose main tasks were disarming tanks and assassinations.
Disarming tanks. Commander, he's got a hold of the cannon. Rotate the damn turret. It's too late, he's unscrewing it.
Now I'm imagining an absolute badass playing Got Your Nose with a T-72.
They nicknamed him Screwdriver Steve.
My poor cousin Alice acquired an extra chromosome from the flu vaccine and ultimately contracted Down syndrome. If only Alice had taken the time to educate herself about dangerous vaccines.
Got pulled over on my way to work this morning while listening to Call Her Daddy podcast. The podcast is two young girls who are in their 20s and talk about dating and everything else you can imagine, etc. I got a warning for speeding and a lecture on church. Happy Thursday! At a prior employer, we had sexual harassment training as part of the new hire process. That's the actual title of the class. The week I hired in there was only 2 of us in the class, which was run by the head of HR. Each time she said, sexual harassment training, I would hum the tune for Sexual Harassment Panda from South Park, and the other guy would add in a line or two from the show. About halfway through, she gave up with us, told us we knew damn well what was right or wrong, to read the brochure, sign the fucking paper, and we were free to go. Subsequent runs of the training course were properly renamed to anti-sexual harassment training.
You sound like a great hire.
I met and got a picture with Billy once. She was walking in Hollywood near the Chinese theater and I walked up to her and she asked me if I wanted a photo. Of course I said yes, so I got a photo with her. Weird thing was that she wanted $1 afterwards. Didn't know what that was about.
What's the most innocent thing you did as a child?
Being born.
I did not rob a bank.
For me, it was when I was 3. We were cleaning a room and my mom put on a song. I think it was Rolling in the Deep. I remember hearing the lines, "You had my heart inside your hand," and you played it to the beat. And then I started crying. My mom was trying to comfort me and kept asking why I was crying. And I said, "It's just so sad. She gave him her heart and he played with it." I don't know why, but for some reason my 3-year-old heart broke from hearing that song.
Overheard at Target. Little boy, Daddy, are you getting Valentine's candy for Jessica too? Father of boy, no, why would I get candy for your babysitter? Little boy, you kiss her just like you kiss mommy. Dead. I'm curious why you say that.
Because a high percentage of the people who die from the flu have used it after getting the flu shot.
Thank you for clarifying. I thought that was what you may have been referring to. Amber, if you research the ingredients in a flu vaccine, you'll more than likely come away with a what the hell thought. Thimerosal, mercury, aborted fetal cells, other known carcinogens. I challenged my doctor's nurse when she asked me if I wanted a flu shot. I told her to go read the ingredients. I bet her $20. She came back into the room with the $20, with a look of astonishment on her face. Tell me about a super cool thing one of your ancestors / older family members did. Grandmother on my dad's side was in an arranged marriage and right before the wedding decided she wasn't going, stole a rifle, climbed to the roof of her house and said in front of the whole village, "I do not want that man, I want that one," and pointed the gun at my grandfather. Cop booked me for having fog lights on in the fog, said it wasn't foggy, started writing ticket, had to tear it up when I showed him the weather on my phone for the time and date he pulled me set for foggy condition.
So this girl 20 miles away matched with me on Tinder today. This is our conversation. Random Tinder chick. Can I ask you for a favor? Me. If this is the best way you can ask a guy to buy your premium Snapchat, you should rethink your career or hire me as your marketing manager. This is a horrible start to a sales pitch. Have you tried cross-promoting on another platform, possibly a webcam site? Random Tinder chick. You right. Deletes me. Me hits the bong. No, I thought you were the one.
Told my 3-year-old we needed to pick up dinner for her dad and she said, "Daddy's a grown man, he can cook his own food. My work here is done."
At a grocery store before I had top surgery, there was a couple in front of me. The guy was pointing at random folks around him and saying to the girl, "I'd fight hit for him, I'd whoop him for you, I'd beat him for you." She nods towards me and says, "What about this dude behind you?" I have my headphones on, without music, and I see the guy glance behind himself at me, make a face and look back at her. "Nah, girl, did you see his chest? He could probably knock me out with his pec, girl." Honestly, it was a life-changing event. When you drop your kid off at school and a gang of little girls go running and yelling, Brandon's here, and the teacher just says, "He's such a loving and caring kid."
Well, I hate this guy. I managed to get paired up with him by random, I might add. I'm new to Fortnite, just to make that clear. Anyways, I was fucking around with it, played a few rounds before I met up with him. Long story short, I killed him and I used an emoji dance thing, because I knew he could see it in the cam or whatever. Then I get banned for something called stream sniping. Like, what the fuck is that?
No, you didn't.
Decided to be a bit naughty today and I went to Subway for the meatless marinara. The young lady behind the counter asked why I didn't eat meat. I started talking about chicken. A few other customers took interest, and by the time I had my order, 4 other people changed their order from a meat sub to a meatless one and asked where they could find more information. Even the server pointed at the chicken and said, "Ugh, I'm not into that anymore." Baby steps. A kid just pulled a dead squirrel in a plastic bag out of his backpack and started eating it. Oh my god, I hate public school. Stay shape-shifting. I am. The day I woke up with 2 different eye colors, took about 2 hours to go back to normal. An astral lucid thing happened in my dream space and, well, that happened. I fucking scared myself when I looked in the mirror. Stay wild.
I have a friend who is colorblind. I have another friend with synesthesia where she sees colors when she listens to music. My colorblind friend has always wanted to see color, and because my friend with synesthesia and my colorblind friend have the same taste in music, she describes color to my colorblind friend by relating it back to music. Like, the sky is Duke Ellington's satin doll, and it is the purest thing. This is what pure friendship is.
That's so weirdly amazing.
Man, you know what's crazy? No kidding, not even a lie. Me and my friends all took like the most heroic dose of shrooms one time and went wandering into the forest late at night, witching hour, 3 a.m. And I told them, we gotta make sure not to get separated like last time, man. But of course, obviously we did, which is a real goddamn shame too, because I don't know where they went, but I ended up in this big open field with the most greenest grass you could ever imagine, with hay bales and bioluminescent cattle grazing in the distance. There was this flaming bush, and I approached it hesitantly at first, but without a worry in the world. I got close enough to stick my hand in the flames, and I found a USB drive, and I just so happened to have my laptop in my backpack at the time, so I booted it up, and I swear to you, man, I found all these top secret documents and government files from the CIA and the FBI, and I was like, man, I must have stumbled upon some kind of Illuminati meeting that just ended, and this is the evidence they were trying to destroy. So I hightailed it out of there like lickety split, and after wandering through the forest for hours trying to find my way home, I came across this wise old man in a bright white robe, out walking his pet direwolf, and he told me I wasn't far from home and to just followed this dirt path. I think he was some kind of prophet or wizard or some such shit, because wouldn't you know it, I was back home and lying in my comfy bed listening to the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman, falling off into a psychedelic, hallucinatory, dreamy land, man. When I woke up, the USB was gone. I think the wizard pickpocketed me or something, man. I don't know. It was ridiculous, because I lost Clint and Mike, so they couldn't even back me up on the story, so it all sounds like fake. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool, dude. But, like, what's that have to do with the money I lent you? I need that back, like, now. Oh, yeah, I mean, like, I'm, like, always losing stuff all the time. Like, man, this one time I was at this party doing lines of ketamine off Keith Glenmeyer's dog, and, like, Candace and Stacy were there,